Okay.
Okay. Clap. Wait. You ready?
Yeah. Welcome.
I'm not. Okay. I do that a lot where I ask people questions about themselves, but I really should be asking myself it.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Okay. All right. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay.
Okay.
So my birthday presents I bought myself.
Yeah, tell me.
They kind of had it like a theme.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know what I was going to buy. This is money my mom gave me for my birthday. It was $100.
Uh-huh.
So I really was like, I want to buy something like on Teddy Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do that because I'd never buy that stuff. Like it's really expensive. So it's like a treat.
Yeah. You have to justify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what actually spurred it on, but I was like, I just want some like self-care stuff.
Yeah.
So I started with that Dr. Teal's bath soaks stuff.
The Epsom salts? Oh my God, I'm obsessed with those.
Yeah. But it's the liquid, it's the soak.
Oh, okay.
But it has Epsom salt in it.
So it's like oil.
It's like it's literally like almost like what you would like
So
like bubble bath almost soak.
It's salt water?
I guess. I've never licked it or anything.
Never licked it. I want to see the ingredients.
Okay, I've got some upstairs. I bought like a bulk. You can have one of them. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them.
What flavor is it?
Lavender. Yeah, I love lavender.
That's
so
exciting.
Yeah, so that was the first thing, and then it kind of just went from there. Like I got, I really wanted some kind of brown lipstick.
Okay.
I don't know why brown. Sometimes it was either that or like maybe like a lavender or purple color.
Okay.
But I was like, I really want brown lips.
These are like things a 16-year-old would want.
Yeah,
or
just
younger.
so weird, kind of like alternative lip color.
My
maybe.
mom would never buy me brown lipstick, so I'm gonna buy it with my birthday money.
Exactly.
That's
So
hilarious.
you did get it for me, Mom.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So okay, the lipstick, I was like, do I want gloss or do I want it to be like matte?
Ooh.
I almost went matte.
I'm here for a matte.
I know. I know. Maybe I'll get some brown, but I went with like the oily. It's literally called like NYX lip oil.
Nice.
And it just looks unnatural. Like it is. I like it and it feels good because it is so oily.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It looks like I like took my lips and made like a filter on my phone and then like put them on my lips. It does not look real.
That's weird.
It's like AI lips.
Because it's so oily?
Yeah.
I need to see this in person.
And the color too. It just doesn't look like, I mean, again, it feels good. I like the oil.
Yeah.
And maybe if I I did only try it with like no other makeup.
Oh, so
maybe.
I'm
in
sure the contrast of just like disheveled.
I'm in my pajamas.
Face, brown, oily ass lips.
I'm ready.
That's hilarious. Ready to do what? What do you? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So then what? Did you just wipe it off or did you like let it vibe for a while?
Actually, I think I just let it vibe. And I don't remember it staying on that long either. It'll be something
What else did you buy?
So then I got, have you heard of this stuff? It's like snail mucus? Mucinex? Yeah. I actually do need some Mucinex. I don't know what this shit is.
Have I ever seen the mucus come out of a snail? Yes.
Well, they sell it.
Why?
I don't think it's actually snail mucus. Maybe it is. I have no idea.
Just like, what's the extraction process for that look like? My mind is going wild with the possibilities. They just like put snails. This is how I would do it. I would get wax paper and I would put the snail on it and like make it to where it couldn't get out of its barriers and like walks around and then take like a little scrapey thing and scrape it.
Maybe that's what it is. I doubt that's what's happening, but one can dream.
What is its intended purpose?
Okay, I'll tell you that. I don't think this is what sold me on it, but once I received the package and it has it on the box, I was like, oh damn. It said achieve glass face.
Why do you want that?
I didn't know it said that until I received it. And then I was like, the package, I was like, oh, what's glass face? I don't even know what glass face is.
I think it's like when your face is so shiny that it looks like glass. But what I'm imagining in my mind, especially with how you describe the lipstick, is like those Halloween masks that are just like clear but still have makeup on. They're fucking terrifying. You're just like in your pajamas with a glass face and like
don't they have like blue
shiny
eyeshadow and like mascara on it too? So I could have saved a lot of money and just got that mask.
This is what stay-at-home moms are doing these days.
Oh my goodness.
So why did you? Okay, so if you didn't know that stuff's intended purpose was glass face, then why'd you buy it?
Okay, so I'm getting low on my moisturizer.
And
I was like, I want something that's got like, I hear about like retinol and shit like that, like something that's anti-aging. And the reviews, honestly, I just like put in, I can't remember exactly what wording I said, but I just wanted something that was gonna like rejuvenate, maybe like serum. Probably use the word serum. And that showed up and it was like really great, like 80,000 reviews. And it was like 4.7 stars. I was like, sold.
I feel like people really misuse the word serum. Not like they're using it incorrectly, but like how many fucking serums do you need for one face?
All for your whole life.
Do you understand?
There's serums for everything.
Do you understand that this whole idea that women can't age and need 900 products or whatever, it's like so fucked up to me because it's like a capitalistic regime to make money while also psychologically damaging an entire gender of people.
Damn. Yeah.
It's not okay.
No, it's not. And serum kind of implies that something's wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely like it feels medical.
There needs to be a
like,
fix.
Or like even like you'd go to your apothecary to retrieve it, but you go to an apothecary because something's wrong with you. You need something.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, it really does feel like snail jizz.
So,
and yeah.
Someone told me recently that honey can like heal wounds. So what if we just put that all over our face? What will that do? Not that our face are wounds. Well, would that be nice?
That's the thing.
Let's try it.
Okay. Make some like natural face stuff.
Yeah. Or just during bath time, just put a bunch of honey on your face. See what happens. I don't know.
I'm down. If we start talking about baths, you know what I'm going to talk about. But I don't know if they want to talk about it on the pod, but on the pod.
What a nerd. What? I mean, you got my antennas up.
I want to do bath time, like videos.
As long as it's
no titties.
Yeah, like
tasteful.
Yeah, it needs to be something we can put on YouTube.
And you don't want a paywall?
You're trying to monetize our titties?
No, I'm trying to monetize
Are you prostituting me right now? Are you my pimp?
I would be such a good pimp.
I have been obsessed with this
because I wouldn't even know I was one.
So that I went down the rabbit hole that Soft White Underbelly podcast. Have you seen this?
No.
It's like this guy used to work in advertising, and then he is also a photographer, and he would go down to Skid Row and take pictures of all these people. And then so he then started interviewing them. And so he has like prostitutes and drug addicts and all sorts of random people on his podcast. But he interviewed this pimp named Sharp several times. And now Sharp is on this other podcast called No Jumper with this other guy who I don't really understand what he is. A porn star, a BMX biker, all of those things. I don't know. I haven't gotten deep enough to know the whole background of these people, but now this pimp is on, or I guess he retired. So this retired pimp has his own podcast. Sharp. And he interviews, he's like old school pimp type person. And he interviews like other people that are in the game. And there's so much lingo and it's so like fascinating.
Why is it called soft white underbelly?
Because I guess it's like the vulnerable parts,
Okay. So
the stuff that you usually cover and hide because it's vulnerable. Because
I like that.
of an animal is what I'm thinking of, like a cat, how they keep their bellies protected. You should check those out. But
Okay.
let me tell you, it's a lot. It's weird too because because of how YouTube works algorithmically, it's like it'll suggest a lot of his videos, but then it's also just because people are so controversial now, it'll suggest videos where people are like mad at him or like accusing him of being a scammer or whatever, or like all these other people's shitty opinions of him. So I try to just ignore all that because at the end of the day, this shit's interesting. Like, what other opportunities are you going to have to listen to these people's stories?
No, that's why I love that Andrew Callahan that does Channel 5 News, and he goes to a lot of like different like kind of
Someone told me
subcultures.
about that. Was it you? No.
Maybe. I talk about him a lot. I've even shown my dad like my mom stuff like I'll need to watch this. He just did it.
It was my neighbor.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that told me about it. So I was talking about how I went to school for journalism.
Why'd you giggle about that?
Because it's like feels like a million years ago, and I don't know, feels silly.
But yeah, he just did a video on the he kind of gives it like I guess he has to. It gives it some sort of like catchy title or topic headline.
Yeah.
And it was about people that live in tunnels underneath Las Vegas.
Ew, weird.
Yeah, it's really
like
good.
Transportation, like subway tunnels, or what are they? Or is there
I think it was for flooding. Like if Las Vegas floods.
My leg is asleep.
Where's the
It's okay, continue. If Las Vegas floods.
Yeah, so the water has to go flat. Yeah, and probably
weird. Now there's people in there.
Dry ground too, so it doesn't absorb the water.
Has it happened where water's gone in there and these people have died under there?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
But I just watched yesterday. He was on which I don't really often, but it was because he was on it, Lex Friedman's podcast. I think he's really tight with Joe Rogan. He's I think he might be like an MIT graduate. He
sounds
does
like a superhero.
I could
like a Marvel person.
He has that vibe. Yeah. He wears like a suit always. But he's really I really like his interviewing style. And he had Andrew on yesterday, and they were talking about just how every video he does, he wants there to be an action for the audience to do afterwards.
Yeah.
It's not just like sensationalizing or just putting a spotlight on the issue. So it was I guess the action he wants people to take with the Las Vegas tunnels is to figure out organizations you can give to that help people that are homeless or displaced have access to get identification. That is a huge obstacle with them getting back up on their feet.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So I didn't know that, and now I do, and I just thought it was great. I don't know why we were talking about that, but Channel 5.
It's because I was
titties,
pimps,
tits and pimps,
tits and pimps, and bath time.
Yeah,
bath time with tits and pimps.
It just seems like a fun. We already kind of communicate while we take baths, like through text and pictures.
Yeah,
that sounds weird. It was my leg hair. Okay, if you've watched the first episode, I
sent you a picture recently. It was a whole full body shot, but I cropped it so there's.
Yeah.
Listen, I know how to take a tasteful nude.
So I'm just saying, other people might want to take baths with us. We don't have a big enough tub, so here's your opportunity.
My bathtub is tiny.
Mine's actually, I've realized how big mine is. And my daughter just took her first bath ever. No, she's used like a little inflatable tub.
Oh yeah.
And last night we did one a big girl.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah, I get a little bit anxious when I send you bath pictures because since my house is a rental house, like the grout is just like forever.
Oh my God, me too.
So I'm like, man, I was like, she's gonna think I'm so nasty because that house has been a rental house for like 20 years or something, and I've gone after it. If anybody has any grout cleaning tricks,
I don't have any. Have you tried that barkeeper stuff?
Comment. I've tried so many things. really what it takes too is just like sitting down and doing it. It needs
Mhm.
like, it needs to be like gone after for like 6 hours straight. Maybe that'll do it. Or just need, I don't know. Anyway, the point is that that's in my head every single time I take a picture in there. I'm like trying to hold the phone in such a way where it's like you can't see.
I do the exact same thing. I'm not kidding you.
Because I don't
That
know
is
about
so
you,
funny.
but I notice that stuff. When
Mhm.
people send me pictures, be careful out there if you send me a picture because I stay looking in the background. I'm like, fuck whatever's in the forefront. Cool, it's you. Like,
What's going on?
I'm like, how much can I zoom in? Take a screenshot to zoom in even more.
You could do I thought about this is caulk. You can like caulk around it if it's like around the grout part of the tub. Like that's one of my spots of where the
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Is I just basically need some sort of acid to just dissolve what's there and then redo it.
No, I'm not, just leave it. Just caulk over
That's the renter's fix. Just paint over it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm good to go.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, I'm just saying maybe we need to explore the idea of
I'm not. I
bathtub.
have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I
Yeah.
think if we could do it in a way that is tasteful to where I don't feel, and nothing against sex workers at all, but I'm just not at a place in my life where I want to have my side hustle be sex work of any sort.
No, it's to me, it's more of just like I'm excited about the logistics of it and what that looks like. Even if we never did it again,
Yeah.
the idea of like doing like a side, like I want to know like how, I don't know. I have an idea in my head with like
I can see
lighting.
it.
I don't
I see it.
know.
Let's just try it. We'll just
Yeah.
make it,
If we don't
not
ever put it
sexual.
out there, and
Yeah.
I just want to know if we can do it.
I'm down.
It's a art idea I have, creative project.
And there is like an intimacy to it because it's bath time. So
Mhm.
maybe
And
if we did just decide to do that, then we can make people pay for it.
I mean, it's
You ain't getting in the bath with me for free.
That's how I feel. Like it's another level of intimacy
Yeah,
that I
you
don't
better
know.
at least give me enough money where I can buy myself a meal or something.
A
I need to
candle?
know I matter.
Some bath soak. Pay for our
Yeah.
our
Sponsor us, Dr. Teals.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like this is what that is, anyways, and we already there's a vibe there too, and it's just the whole thing of like I want
That's
to
where I would argue that that's where we spent our time incubating all of our ideas about this is when we were.
Absolutely.
And how many times were we simultaneously,
Take
not
bath?
on purpose, taking baths together at the same time?
All the time.
Like, what you doing, boo? Like, oh, I was just, whatever. I always tell you I'm making Nicole soup.
Salty. No. I don't know what your bath water tastes like. We can sell bath water. No, that's crazy. Bath soup.
This bitch just said we can sell our bath water.
Bath soup.
If someone
Sorry.
No, don't. I'm just trying to I'm not mad about it. We can make the jar. We can bedazzle
God.
the jars. Does anyone want our bath water? Hello?
Oh my God, dude.
$100 a gallon? Is that too big to ship?
No,
Let's do like a
it has to be a
quart.
mason jar.
We're gonna send it to you in a ball jar.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna have
Jewels.
yes, rhinestones hot glued onto it.
Do we glitter the
Just-
water also?
Just no, because it's
Okay.
they
It's
don't.
gotta be pure.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I don't know about you, but
This
is this
insane.
overly vulnerable? I don't give a shit. This is real. I'm sorry. When I take a bath is
Uh-huh.
typically after work, and because I work
Yeah.
in a pasta shop, I'm covered in all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the times I wear socks to work because I wear Crocs in the kitchen. So there's holes in them, so things will fall in. So I wear socks, so I'm not having pasta inside my shoes because of sweat. But then there are those days when I forget or don't wear socks because it's hot or whatever. So either way, my feet are nasty as fuck is my point. Because socks, lint, all that stuff, or it's pasta toe jam situation.
You've got a couple different
So as soon as I get in, there's already particles coming off and then floating. And sometimes I like to play the game where you scoop it out
oh yeah, and put
It's-
it
and then see what your
What your
collection of
collection is?
disgust
Yeah.
is.
No, this way you wouldn't scoop it out.
No, you
And-
keep it in there.
And we have different flavors.
And sometimes I get desperate and use soap to just bubble up the bath. So it'll be weird little chunks of non-dissolved whatever I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
Or like some of those Epsom salts and stuff
Yeah.
change, like it'll be hazy.
Yeah. Well, I have I think our water heater is going out, so mine might also be rust colored sometimes.
That's exciting.
We have flavors. We have sock flavor. We have pasta flavor.
They're salt flavored.
All right, write this down.
Okay.
Let's explore.
Bath.
Oh my god.
I'm just writing down bath water, okay?
Okay, this is what we need to do.
We are entrepreneurial geniuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is the hump I want to get over with you, especially when it comes to collaborative stuff.
Okay.
A lot of times we immediately think what we have to do has to go out.
Yeah, we
and
don't
it
just do
prevents us
from actually making it.
Yeah.
So this is
where
what
you
we're
make
gonna
it for
do.
ourselves.
You have jars, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, give me a jar and you take a jar
Okay.
and let's.
Put homework down.
I did.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna just put. Okay, I wrote bath water. But I'll put homework,
Jar.
and then we can bedazzle our jars together and put it
Mhm.
on the thing for next episode.
Yeah. And then be show and tell.
And if somebody wants to buy it, then they can fucking buy it.
There you go.
And what you do with it once it's at your house is your fucking business.
You can
I am
put-
not here. I am not the police,
No.
and I will not be telling people what to do in their own homes with their things.
I don't even want to. That's you.
I don't even really want to know.
Right. Right.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but
Man, I feel like we're doing some shit
we're really
right
doing
now.
it. We're doing big business.
Yeah. What else is going on? Oh, this all started because of my birthday
Oh yeah.
gifts. Anyways, I think another thing I got was I don't know, some kind of like tinted sunscreen or something.
Okay.
What I realized is everything is like self-care, like liquid stuff. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how to, and something about my face.
Yeah.
But there's body stuff too. I did get some like body oil. I
Skin
think.
is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, it's skin related.
Mm.
And I feel like that was super telling of like where I'm at.
I feel that. There was one birthday that I had recently. It was like the last, I don't remember when, but like people were getting me like massagers. I'm pretty sure like some salts like that and like CBD oil and like a back.
But these are things other
a
people are
fucking
getting you.
back brace.
Someone got you a
I
back.
don't know. In my mind, that's what it was.
Oh my god! No,
It's
didn't
like
you
cool.
Get,
Thanks. Now I'm geriatric. Yay!
wasn't there like a squatty potty? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently, I was suffering from some back issues at the time. Well, my back hurts all the time, so
Yeah.
that's just part of life. That's been that way since I was young.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But people got that for you.
I know it was nice, but what my point is that I'm sharing
Yeah.
in the feeling of like these
Yeah.
gifts, birthday, regardless of where they came from.
Yeah.
It's like tells you a story about where you're at.
It does. Very true.
But yeah,
Well, here we are.
here we are.
Yeah.
Doing it again.
Our periods are synced. I wanted to talk about that.
Well,
Almost. Yeah.
So okay. So yeah.
We just had our
What?
periods. Or is that what you call it? Like, is it your first? It's your first week of your menstrual cycle, right?
What do you mean?
Like when you have your actual
When
period.
you're actually bleeding?
Yeah. That's the considered the first week.
I don't know. Like you get into the
Mhm.
nomenclature about this way
Mhm.
harder than I do. I misnomered what the thing is that I have.
Oh
The PMTD thing. I think I
Mhm.
said it was like pre-menopausal something. That's not it at all. It's basically makes PMS, like the time before your period, longer and worse, and you act like a insane body snatched asshole.
Yeah. It's because your hormones are just
Like bad.
yeah.
I hate it. But anyways, I'm synced like
Wait, what are we talking about?
periods.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to be aligned
Yeah.
because I was having all my pre stuff.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I do 2 weeks of that nonsense.
Yeah.
But the day, like I would even down to the moment that eclipse happened, my body was like,
really?
Not kidding, it was weird. I started bleeding when the eclipse
Wow.
happened. And I've heard a lot of people did the same thing.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's incredible. It probably like magnified the moon or something because isn't it connected to the moon also?
Girl, I don't know, but I'm just here to tell you that being a woman is fucking weird. And
Yeah.
having that experience where like because planets are moving to makes your body bleed. I'm like, I don't know about all this anymore.
Why?
That's weird.
Yeah.
So
and beautiful. I
it
think
is.
it's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not
Mhm,
negating
mhm.
the.
It's just and this. It's
I,
weird
I
and
just feel
beautiful.
like, and I'm not here to say like. No, I am here to say it. People don't understand what it's like for a woman out here these days,
Mhm.
or just at all. It's so weird to me,
You can't explain it.
unless you're like,
There are no words, in my opinion.
no, and I feel like the female experience is not spoken about. So we don't know. And we're
Mhm.
like blindly going into our worlds, being all like having these holes that create life. So everybody wants to fuck them because we're animals. And so I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. Like women are not taught how to get pleasure. So sex becomes a thing where you're serving your partner unless you're lucky enough to have a sex positive family or like older friends or whatever that teach you all about it.
Mhm.
And then you have to like grapple with the fact of whether or not you want to procreate and then go through a period of years where you're like tortured every month with like all of these experiences and hormones and whatever. And then you become my age and then you're like less viable because you can't have babies. And it's like we're sexualized from birth to death. And our value is placed on us based on how sexually viable we are. It's weird.
You just fucking preaching the day, girl.
I'm telling you, I,
Oh boy.
if I didn't owe the government upwards of $80,000 for student loan, which I'm just not gonna, I shouldn't record myself saying that. Anyways,
You want me to cut it?
no, I know it's a fact. I owe
Yeah.
the government. I don't even know how much. The last time I looked, it was $78,000 that I owe the federal government.
I was gonna say what are they? I was like Fannie Mae. She's listening.
No, it's the U.S. Department of
Yeah.
Education. It's federal loan that I
Yeah.
have left. I paid my state loan because they were taking my taxes away. But anyways, if I didn't owe that, I would 100% go back to school. And I know what I want my doctoral thesis to be, and how badass would it be, Dr. Payne? It's such a goal of mine, but it costs money, and that's dumb. So I might just write my thesis anyway.
Right.
But the title of it is "Everyone Hates Women, Including God," or everyone, I don't know, something like that. Basically, the point is that, yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm not going to get into it right now because I'll get way too wired and say a bunch of things that sound ridiculous. But I will share different sections
as you go along.
Yeah,
I'm all ears, baby. I want to know what you got to say.
and I've gotten into this thing where now I'll bring up topics just to prove my point because I feel like I'm smart enough and just toxic enough to debate really well to where I can just like make people just like. So I like to bring up topics and just, even if it's to the point where I have to start being completely absurd to make it be boiled down to the fact that everyone hates women. And I will twist shit until that's the truth. But there's truth in it. I'll listen. Anybody wants to talk to me about it, you holler at me. I'll get into a debate with you. We can take most things and boil it down to that. Anyway.
Now I'm still trying to I'm in that monetize mode. I'm like, how do we monetize this now?
But back to periods, yeah. Periods are fun.
Periods,
I have
yeah.
my overalls right now. I realized it when I went upstairs to pee that there's period stain in these current pants that I'm wearing.
Yeah, that was something we texted about. Is the whole thing like what to do with the blood? Like, there's really
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you purchased some period pants.
Yeah.
Or panties.
Yeah,
But they're not all they're chalked up to be or something.
It's they work, like it's definitely an absorbent material, but like for somebody like me, like I don't wear underwear unless I have on something where my ass is literally going to be out, like a short dress, which is like never. So, or unless like I'll wear like boy shorts sometimes to bed if it's hot or whatever, but for the most part I don't wear those. So I'm having to like it feels like a diaper. And then they're just ill-fitting.
You said after the wash, they didn't
they
even.
shrank.
Yeah.
And they're like the leg holes are too small. And then it's like they're one and done. So it's like as soon, and you can't just throw them straight in the laundry. So I'm not going to waste a whole cycle on one pair of underwear. So you have to like rinse it out in the bathtub and like do all that. And they're like $15-$20 a pair. So I have to spend $100.
Yeah, they're
just
so
for
expensive.
nighttime. So if I wanted to wear those during the day, like the practicality of that, because with how it works for me, I'd be having to change them like 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I'm terrible at math. But even if they're $10 a piece, that's $30 a day for 5 days.
And then they're not holding up as well, so you're probably gonna have to repurchase.
Soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's just not it. And
Yeah.
tampons are not it either. Let me tell you, they fucking suck. I use those most just because it's convenient.
Yeah.
But it's so fucked
Same.
up because it's like what are we supposed to do?
No, and the Diva Cup is bullshit. I don't care who you are, what you say.
Yeah,
I've
agreed.
had people preach to me about it.
Same.
I've tried it, and it's not practical in any sense.
No, it's the same
at
shit.
all. Yeah.
And it's like you have to constantly be worried about it because it's like in public or some shit. If you have that cup and you're in a public bathroom, what the fuck are you supposed to do? That's the other day I was working. I had to go to Swamp Rabbit and I sneezed real hard and a whole thing happened. I was like, that's cool.
Well, okay, so I was sick with it during my period.
Oh,
I had
God, you had coughs?
Yes, I couldn't keep a tampon in. I'd cough it out
So you
like
just
constantly.
free bled?
Yeah. And that's where I think we've landed, right? Is just have period clothes.
Yes.
And that's what you wear.
Yes.
And you can put, rags or whatever if you want to cut up an old t-shirt. Whatever you
wanna
want.
do.
But just bleed.
Yep.
And that'd be your designated bleeding clothes.
Yep. The place where it's not super practical is if you have to leave your house for work.
Yes.
And that's when I usually typically use tampons. If I have to like be outside of a place where I can just
there will be moments where, like you said, like you'll have to maybe use a pad or something just to help with it. But I feel like even with the period clothes at work, like just wear something dark.
Well, and there's
there's
like shame around it too, because if I had it my way, I'd wear those, like I just wear an adult diaper and just call it a day. But there's an environmental impact to that because like how many of those do I have to use? How much they cost? And then in public, like let's say I stop to get gas and I have to go change my diaper. Like what do I do with it? Because that size is me too big to put in one of those ridiculous, disgusting little metal boxes that they have that usually don't have any sort of bag. It's like you're putting blood in there. Like when you do that at a doctor, there's like biohazard signs and shit on it. And like any female bathroom, just like whatever, like let's mix all these human fluids together and keep it there in a non-refrigerated place for days or
this is disgusting. But have you ever walked in on a period shit in the public bathroom?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's disgusting. But we aren't allowed to talk about it because that's gross, God forbid. And no one wants to clean that shit up.
It's always out of the water too. It's like
it's disgusting. Everything about it is
just a massacre.
It's wild.
But see, okay, I say keep your old t-shirts.
Yeah.
You're gonna donate them or do something with them anyways. Cut them up and have little rag. Like they had it right in the 1700s or whatever.
100%.
And take some extra with you because it's not. It is kind of. I don't know how you feel about like bleeding where people can see it. If that's a concern, maybe because then I guess
that's what I'm talking about.
Professionally, there's something,
and we're at a place now in our culture, society, or whatever you want to say, where everything's like politicized. So even if you did that and you weren't worried about people thinking it's gross, someone's gonna see you and be like, "Oh my God, she's a free bleeder." And associate you somehow kind of way because of that.
But okay, so if you see the blood, doesn't that maybe mean that it's going to rub off onto things?
Yeah. And again, with the biohazard, like if I'm just bleeding out of my arm in a public place, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. You need to bring back the period tents or whatever they did, the moon tents.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Pay me. I'm not going to be at work for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let me go be gross and weird and bleed in the woods.
Just do some remote work.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Make pasta. My brain just went somewhere really weird with that.
Say it.
No.
Why?
Period pasta.
Oh, I've already talked about it. I've already done a whole course meal. It's actually not just period pasta is one of the courses, but I want to do a head to toe, like human excrement coursed meal. Like the first is, like snot. You put snot in something, and then the next one is like earwax, and then like spit.
Oh my God. So you've built
like
the menu.
belly button lint, period blood, piss and shit, toe jam, whatever you want to do. Sweat.
Have you made this menu?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know it.
I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
okay, well, maybe save it for next time.
I've actually thought about that.
I love
your
that.
dark thoughts are safe with me. Don't worry.
I need to remember that. Sometimes
I feel like that's why people tell me such weird shit because they're like, this bitch is already she's fine. She's not gonna judge me.
Once they figure that out, they're like, I
don't know how cool. It's like some people figure it out faster than others.
Yeah. Am I just now figuring it out?
12 years later.
No, I knew. Yeah. So we had just had our period. I just had mine a little bit before.
Yeah, and
yours.
let me tell you this other thing that I experienced. I shared this with my mom recently. I have this paranoia that occurs every single time I finish my period, where I convince myself that there's a tampon lost inside my body somewhere.
Well, it's not unfounded. I actually tried to put a tampon up the other day, and there was already one in there, and I forgot.
I know someone who had to go to like the hospital and get one taken out.
Oh,
I actually know 2 separate people that occurred with, but they were saying like it smelled really bad, like rotten flesh or whatever. And I'm like, I'm so sensitive to smells, I would notice.
Yeah, you would.
And I'm so weird about checking back on things anyway. So it's never happened.
Yeah.
And I can tell myself logically, like, Nicole, that did not happen. And I can remember the moment that I took it out and I'm like, you haven't put another one in there. It's fine. You do this every time. And I can go through and logically tell, like, work through all those. And I'm like,
good.
no, it's still there. You have to check.
Oh, wait, no. It took a turn.
Even like 3 days later, I will be
so
like,
you continuously check.
Yes, for days.
Okay.
Days. It's just like
maybe give yourself a cutoff. Like you can ask yourself this now 5 times.
But after the 3rd day, you're being wild.
Yeah. Start there.
Okay.
Homework. You could be so busy. Check your punani. Wait, we might actually. No, that doesn't matter.
Twat checks.
Twat checks.
I like it.
Check your twat. Twat.
I mean, yeah. If you have a twat, you should be checking it out.
Yeah.
It's a whole like ecosystem in there. You got to make sure everything's okay. How do you feel?
Awakened.
Vaginally?
All the awakened.
Okay, so I have one other thing to tell you, and then I want you to tell me something, okay?
Okay.
So I have recently fallen in love with Dunkin Donuts coffee. Nothing special, but I'm like obsessed.
Like just like in a bag you buy at the store?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Once upon a time, I go to the Dunkin Donuts, like by Cherrydale, and I get every single time I order the same exact thing: a large iced coffee, no sugar, 1 cream. 'Cause I'm off sugar right now.
Yeah.
And the first time I ordered it, the girl, when I pulled up to the window, she was like, "I don't know how you drink it like that," like basically telling me that it was nasty and that I was nasty for having something nasty. And I was like, put my ass on my shoulders about it, and I was all like talking shit at work after that, like, I am not buying this coffee for you. Like, why do why are you worried about what it's not for you? Just give me what the fuck I asked for. You don't need to know what whatever. So then I went back another time, like the next day even, because I go there probably 3 or 4 times a week now.
Oh wow.
And so she started to recognize me, and even when I come to the window and I give my order, she's like, "Hey, it's you." And so she started calling me Little Miss Almost Black Coffee. And
What a name.
I know. And I was like, she's cute. And I was like, we were just like, are you on your way to work? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. She has a she went to culinary school.
Oh, wow.
I feel like they have a program at that Dunkin Donuts where they like help people that are either coming out of rehab or jail get their life back together or something.
Maybe,
because
yeah.
everyone that works there looks like they
came from
just recently
yeah.
came from a sordid situation.
Mm-hmm.
And no judgment at all.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so
that's awesome.
We're buddies now, and she gets really excited every time she sees me. But I have a new nickname now. It's Little Miss One Cream.
Oh my God.
And I think
that was
it's like one of my favorite nicknames that I've ever had. I'm so proud of it. Fuck yes, Little Miss One Cream.
like it was here, and now it's like that's amazing.
The other day she was not working, and the woman misheard me that was working and put 4 creams in it. And I knew as soon as the man opened the window and tried to hand it to me, I was like, that's not the color that I want that to be.
It was like this color.
I shouldn't be like, don't you know me? I'm Little Miss One Cream. I don't want 4 fucking creams. I look like I need 4 creams.
You should say that.
Yeah. So I'm pretty proud of that.
We used to get Dunkin' Donuts. When
we used to go to that one, and there was that guy that worked there, remember?
Yeah, we went there. We went to the one on Wade Hampton a couple times too, I think.
Yeah, but that one that I'm talking about, same type of deal. He was all like,
I remember
he wore a visor, and he was always
he was
like,
ready
all the time.
He had completely turned his life around. He was giving it all.
And most of them have that vibe there.
Yeah.
But I swear it's every time she's not there, they fuck it up. They either, for some reason, that woman hears me as saying 4 when I say 1. Because another time she tried to put 4 in there. I was like, no, dog, it's 1. Or they'll put sugar in it. Because their brain just cannot fathom
that someone would
want what I'm ordering.
I think we used to get cream and sugar in the one we would get.
Yeah.
And I remember it would like make my throat itchy. Like from the sugar.
Yeah.
And the cream.
Telling you. Get the big one because they put a lot of ice in it.
Yeah.
And so that way it waters itself down after time, and just 1 cream.
Yeah. Dude, we used to be fucking jazzed at work. Remember you just
that's me
on
now.
those Dunkin' Donuts. Woo!
I'm telling you, their coffee is, and maybe it's just that location they put something extra in there. I don't know. But I'm fully addicted. I was really hard on the Celsius for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, every once in a while, I'll drink that whole coffee and then like wait maybe an hour and then drink a Celsius. Good God.
I would pass out.
I've never done cocaine for various reasons, but at this point, it's just a promise that I made close. It has to be. It has to be. And I'll be at work like sweating,
just zooting,
like feeling like every single thing I'm doing is the most amazing thing in the world.
I remember, yeah, we would go because we had first period planning.
Yeah.
So we had like an hour or two, really, because we get there
by the time the kids came to class, we're like, oh!
We'd had like 10 cups of coffee because we drink it at home, take it to work, and then we'd go get more.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There was something with teaching I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah.
What we've done since then?
Yeah. So yeah, what have we been up to?
Once upon a time we were teachers, now we're not doing that anymore.
If you didn't know this. And we taught together and we quit at the same time.
Yeah. I'm going to tell mine first because it's short. I feel like you have done many things than I have. Because pretty much I severely dislocated my knee.
Oh my God, I forgot that was right after.
Quit teaching. And we stopped getting so school was out first week of June. I had dislocated my knee in May. So like.
Because you were at work when you were.
Yeah. I was all hurt up at work.
Yeah.
And this was push me around in a wheelchair.
And this was 2019. We quit in 2019. So before COVID and all that shit.
Right before. Because, so I messed up my knee in May. We quit teaching in June, but we still got a paycheck until, I want to say, the 1st of August.
Yeah.
Like the end of July was our last paycheck, rather.
Yeah.
So I chilled for a little while because I was hurt. And that recovery process was like months. And because I quit my job, I lost my insurance and I couldn't go to physical therapy anymore. So my healing process took longer than it should have because I couldn't afford to go to physical therapy anymore. And I didn't have a job, so I had like no income. So what was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And one of our students we were friends with their
like,
parents. And
Duh.
their parents happened to own a pasta shop, but we used to play trivia, and we were out drinking one day, and me and the owner of the pasta shop were like tipsy, like, what? And I was like, I need a job. I don't have any money. I'm hurt, blah, blah. And she's like, come to the pasta shop. So I did. And I sat in a stool with my big ass leg brace and did what I could sitting down. And 5 years later, I'm still there running that shit.
That's right. Yeah, you are. Pasta fucking queen.
But yeah, in terms of like how I pay my bills, that's what I've been up to. There's a whole lot of other stuff that's been going on in my personal life, but
there's a lot of recovery physically,
mentally.
Yeah.
That was a lot. And I, leaving a long relationship, and that was a whole gut ass punch situation. Moving out of a very financially secure situation into not knowing what to do at all. Trying to be open-hearted to a new relationship while grieving all sorts of weird stuff that I didn't even know I was grieving from.
Fucking COVID.
Then COVID. And then I was like displaced for a while. And I had to take care of my nephew for a little bit at a friend's house because I didn't have anywhere to go because mom was having back surgery.
You stayed with me for a while.
I stayed with you for a while. And then finally I was able to get on my own feet or whatever. But it was a lot. And then I started therapy. So like in terms of personal life, it's been a gosh darn situation.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool how it balances itself like that,
Yeah. I'm very grateful for the job that I do have because it's allowed me the space and the time and the flexibility to do all of that personal stuff that I was years past due working on. So I'm definitely grateful for it.
And kind of were set back in some ways.
Yeah.
Just growth wise, I feel like.
Yeah. And I think teaching really allowed me to deflect from myself and pour myself into other people. And then life slowed down so hard. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucking mess. I've got to fix this. I didn't even fix it, but I had a lot of healing to do. I had a lot of stuff that I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm still in the midst of it, but we out here.
Yeah. Okay. So when we quit, I think I started looking for a job. We knew because you have the whole school year really. Unless something crazy happens, you're not going to quit mid-year.
No, it would take some messed up circumstances, or unless you were forced out for whatever reason.
Yeah, that could happen.
Which happens.
Yeah. But we we had a while to kind of like prepare for leaving teaching, and we'd been talking about leaving for a long time, even before then, really, right? Like first year, second year, like before we started. Yeah. Before we even decided to go to school for teaching.
Girl, my first year was legitimately that movie Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer. That was my first year teaching, pretty much.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's how it felt to me.
It was definitely Paradise.
Oh my God. Those kids that I taught that first year have definitely like etched in my skeleton in a way that they'll never know. Like those kids helped me survive. Anyway, back to your thing. Because they threw me to the wolves, boys.
Damn.
Anyways.
My first year, it was, you know how they say like every class has kind of its own vibe of group of kids, because a lot of them have been like going to school with each other before even middle school.
Yeah.
And there was you know what, I know what it was too. That was the year I think one or two other teachers taught like the AP or like GT classes, and so the kids were a certain level of like, I don't know, they had a school intelligence, you know what I mean? Like they were good at doing school.
Yes.
But that also lends itself to kids that are good at, like, a lot of times they're really creative, or they can even challenge you in a way. So I remember that my first year kids, like they kind of like highlighted my brain too. But it was also the last year that the principal was teaching, that had been there for like, I think over a decade, and was amazing. It was like the golden era of that school. I think she did a lot.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I was kind of underneath her wing a little bit, and it felt like I was like at a really well-oiled machine going, you know. Then after that, it changed, and
That was, excuse me, Miss PR professional.
Was that good?
Holy shit.
Was that too good?
Now I'm like impressed and frightened.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Wow. Okay. Anyway,
I kind of disassociated too. Sorry.
you look like someone who was groomed to say that.
Wow. Damn.
Even if you're self-groomed. Okay. Anyway, so
A lot happened.
it changed.
Yeah.
And then,
and so in good ways and bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm stuck on that. I don't know why. Now I've got to get out of it.
6 years later, we quit.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah. So I wanted, I really, at that point in my life, and I still feel this way, a lot of my identity and like self-worth comes from like doing a good job.
Yeah.
And having some sort of career.
Yeah.
Which is really funny now that I don't have that I am unemployed.
Yeah.
You know, but
I think, and we're so bred to like identify ourselves with our work because that's always like when you meet somebody, what do you do?
Oh, first
like,
thing.
don't fucking ask me that question.
Yeah. And you take all throughout school, you take career aptitude. Like, what are you going to be? What are you going to be? What is the one thing that you are going to be for the rest of your life?
Yeah. Because work is the only thing that matters.
Right.
Work. That's just could not be further from the truth.
So that started changing in my brain a little bit while we were teaching. And I was like, what am I doing? And I think I wanted to still have some of the notoriety or like the ego shit that comes with having a good job.
Yeah, it's pride.
Right. So I was like, I want to do something with my degree. I want it to be, you know, and I majored in history. So I worked at a museum for a little bit, super unhappy there. And I was like, well, I just left something that I was already unhappy at. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
So went and decided like maybe I want to try to do something that's more creative and maybe that's something that doesn't already exist.
Yeah.
It might be something that I want to create on my own.
Right.
So I started working at another museum, a really fun one.
Yeah.
Where lots of kids, a lot different than the other museum. And I was part-time at that one. And that was a little bit better because I could do other stuff outside of work. But then COVID happened like a month later.
Yeah.
And that was weird. And we tried to like do a museum from home, which
yeah.
Right. So I was let go of that. Our whole department was like laid off. And then I was like, okay, well, now I'm really going to do what I want to do. And I've got the opportunity. So like, what do I really want to do? And I've always had this like desire to grow shit, and be outside. I really wanted, because we were kind of
institutionalized.
Yeah. Not even when we were teaching and going through it as an adult is a lot different, and seeing it happen to to children and how much that was affecting them in so many ways, like being in like it felt like prison, like in a little box.
It is.
Right.
It's an institution.
Yeah. It's the pipeline or whatever they call it. Yeah. And outside time was like a huge thing that they like dangled over our heads. It's like, ooh. So I wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
So I worked on a farm for a while. That was amazing. Loved being outside every day, and started a garden here at my house and still doing that. Love that. And then I got pregnant, and
now you take care of a nugget.
Now I'm growing something else, growing a human.
You're doing a damn good job.
Yeah. And there's been some shit, you know, life happens along the way, and it's still happening, and who knows what will next year. And when she starts school, I don't know what I'll get up to, but you know, in this right here, what we're doing together, I think it's like something that we've been cooking, and I'm just glad that we finally like took action to like do it.
Yeah. I definitely was lacking that creative stuff in my life big time. I think it's hard as a person who's creative when you have a lot of like heavy stuff that's happening in your life too, because people are like,
you have to have the space for it.
Put it in your art. Well, it doesn't always work that way, because when life is beating you down so hard that you hate everything you say or do,
right? Why would you want to like confront that head on?
I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that. So yeah, I'm happy to have a creative outlet again for sure. We just gonna keep
Together.
doing it, especially once we start selling this bedazzled bath water jars.
Oh my God. We're going to be so
Rich. I'm talking about rich. Big business.
Big business. We're coming up. We're sitting at the head of the table at
We're doing
these
it.
meat conferences. And we're
Yeah.
going to be talking about our bedazzled.
Okay, I have one last
Oh,
thing
yeah.
I want to talk about
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm bothered by it.
It's a
and
current event topic.
It is. And I feel upset that I'm bothered for a few reasons because I realize that there is some, I don't know, like selfish morbidity to it or something. But anyway, OJ Simpson's death was not exciting to me. And that I mean the way that he died.
Okay.
And I feel to say that you're disappointed in someone's death is a hot take and it's a fucked up thing to say, but I'm owning my feelings. He was such an a integral part of my childhood. Like that whole Bronco chase when all that stuff happened with the alleged murder and it was like happened when I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
So it was like
part of your
it is in my DNA as a human. Like I remember, like it's one of those things where I remember where I was when we were watching this.
Yeah.
Chase.
I feel that way about John Benet Ramsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then just all of the crazy shit that happened after that, and then he wrote that book. Like, if I did it, this is how I would have done it. And just his whole trial was like such a big deal.
Do you remember watching the trial?
Yes.
Like live? Like as it was happening? Wow.
Yeah, and like back then it was like we didn't have like the internet, so it was like the thing you like couldn't wait to go home and do and watch this stuff. And I remember it being like on at school and stuff sometimes.
Well, it was part of a huge other like political like race issue in California, in LA with like
the race riots and stuff.
Mhm.
And I think it was right around the time when our culture kind of shifted to that like reality TV, like wanting to see fucked up shit. Like they realized they could like look at how many people have their eyeballs on this right now.
Yeah.
They saw an opportunity
and the divisiveness of it.
Yes. And so it was a moment in history, I would argue, for that reason too.
So for him to just
and just so much controversy, like all that, like him allegedly being Khloe Kardashian's dad. Like that's how like I want the sensation. It's just like, and it just makes me feel like an asshole. Like it's so boring that he died in his mid-70s from cancer. Like you didn't get shanked in prison. Like Khloe Kardashian didn't come for you. Like none of that. You just like died an oldish man of cancer.
Do you think he deserved better?
I'm not saying that he deserves anything. I'm not like the giver and taker of life. I would never put it on anyone like that. And I'm not trying to in any way diminish cancer or say that that's not a hard thing or that he deserves a hard thing or an easy way to die. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm just saying like once upon a time, like if you watch that documentary or whatever about his life, his biography, it's like goes like a crescendo, just real down. Like I need a more sensational ending, and I'm hoping that some shit comes out. I need it. He lived such a sensational life. Like even when he was a famous football star for how long, and then all of a sudden you're like a murderer, and then I don't know. Then you're just like this.
Does his death, how he died, take away from any of that?
No, I just wanted a cherry on top.
Okay.
It's selfish. I told you it's morbid and selfish, and I get that, and I feel fucked up about it. But I'm being honest about how I feel.
Yeah.
And like I was in shock because one of the owners at work texted me that he died. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's one of those deaths. It's like
it's big
to me. And I mean that might seem silly too, but I was obsessed with OJ Simpson. Like just I don't know, like the mystery of it all, or like just the craziness of it. I'm just like, and then I looked it up because I was expecting something crazy to happen. It's just like he was battling for cancer for a while, and it finally took him. I was like, cool.
I don't know.
I don't know. It makes me feel bad. I'm telling you.
Well, I think there's two things going on there. There's the life of O.J. Simpson and then the actual human.
I know.
And I think you're not talking about the man. You're talking about the life. That's what you're attached to. That's what, is part of your identity and what your childhood and all.
Part of my identity.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
The juice is loose. Earbuds will not stay in.
The juice is loose inside Nicole.
Surprise.
Who knew?
Yeah. I didn't know he had a daughter that died. Did you know this? That drowned when they were I think that she was 1.
Yeah. Madison.
Oh, God.
I said what I said.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
And so I don't know if I have the words right, if I'm going to say it exactly how I mean it, but there's something about your life being boiled down to those bullet points.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day, think back to your great grandmother, maybe some people even with their own just grandparents. You may know one thing about them.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Ethel.
Yeah.
Or she liked to bake cakes.
Yeah.
And that's all
it.
Ethel's remembered for.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And bye.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. I've been just kind of thinking about how life is like that. We think so many things are happening to us and we're doing all the things and experience, but outside of this skin bag, what happens with other people's memories of you?
Yeah.
And it could literally be nothing.
Or it could be, you never know.
No, you don't know it could be everything. You just don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't wish death on anybody. I know some people do. That feels icky to me. I don't even like seeing trees get cut down. It really bothers me. But at the same time, come on, OJ.
I remember
Go out with a bang. Don't just be a cancer victim. What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know what that says about me.
I don't think it says anything.
Are you sure?
We'll
circle back.
We'll come back to that. Oh man, is there anything else? I can't remember. Wonder how many minutos has been.
We're about at an hour.
Oh, you got it in your head?
Well, I looked at the thing, and I am starting to feel that time.
You feel it?
Yes, I can feel it in my body. It's hey, I want to get up now.
Wow.
It's yeah, it's weird. I feel it in the bottom of my spine. It's
Were you at work when the eclipse happened?
No, it was on a Monday.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting in my front yard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Like a white trash person or something. I was sitting in a lawn chair, no shirt, drinking a beer and a koozie. I got sunburned. The UV rays were really strong that day.
I'm glad you didn't go blind.
I didn't.
Glad. Your eyes didn't melt out of your skull.
No.
You're good.
No.
I think I was cleaning or something, and I had YouTube up, and I think NASA and a couple of other news channels did this broadcast where it was live, and it would go from city to city, experiencing it, and I cried several times.
Yeah, it's because there's something that happens. I don't know the language for it, but and that's the power of human beings.
Yeah.
If you take a lot of people and make them stop and experience the same thing at the same time, it creates a frequency that is noticeable. That's why praise and worship, those big churches, that's why they're so influential, because everybody is focused on the same thing at the same time in a space together. And when that happens, it
higher frequency.
Yes, because we literally connect.
Yeah, it was
and that
weird.
is a lot of people at the same time, looking at the same time,
Yes.
like looking at the same thing and not doing anything else. And I think that's part of it too, is like you are, I don't know.
I
It's
wish that could be
powerful.
harnessed
I know.
more
I wish
frequently.
for good.
Yeah.
I would argue that it is harnessed a lot for not good.
And it's like we're always doing that. We're all living and existing at the same time. And it's like it's just acknowledging it. That's all it is. You don't have to even be doing the same, because people were standing, they were talking, they were working, they were doing all kinds of things, but we were still experiencing the same thing. So the thing has to be the same, but what you're doing doesn't matter. So if we could just feel that way about living.
Yeah. I think it does matter some, because think about how many people were literally just sitting outside staring.
Yeah.
But I think it just
I
think it just slowed everything down for a moment.
It did.
And I hate to be like speak about the nefarious overlords or whatever, but I think that people, whoever people are with power, do realize the power of that, and that is why we are driven to be so individualized now, and just like be in our phones and be less in tune with one another.
But they can't control the sun.
Nope.
So daddy's gonna have to
go to bed.
Shh, go to bed, daddy.
Don't wake daddy. You remember that game?
Oh my God, yes, sorry. Yes. I remember the commercial more than the game.
Is that game kind of fucked up if you think about it? Like, don't wake daddy. He's going to be pissed. And that was like, if he woke up, he was pissed. So the game, a board game for children, is literally about tiptoeing around the house at night to not piss off your father.
It's fucked.
It seems.
There's some weird shit in the 80s, especially. I feel like that came from the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah, that was a weird one. But that commercial.
Children games in general, like I'm just thinking about fucking Ring Around the Rosie. Isn't that about like the bubonic plague?
So, yeah.
Ashes.
They had pockets full of posies because they smelled bad or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole story, but yeah, I think it's something dark.
Life is fun. Life is fun.
Until you die a boring death.
And then all you did was make cakes.
God damn it, Ethel.
All right. Good?
I mean,
I'm good. This was a doozy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like,
it took us a while to get started. There was a little bit of like pre-production tension.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it really tuned us in once we got into it.
Yeah, and we took a beat. I think you can't just go if you have like other shit bleeding into another. Sorry.
I was like, what happened?
Bleeding into other shit. You know, you just got to make sure.
You got to take a pause. That's what my therapist says. She says her language is like, take a pause.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Drop into your body. Locate where whatever it is that you are experiencing is in your body. And then think about like, what does it look like or feel like? Does it have a texture or a color or a shape? And then she has you like unpack that into where by that time you've calmed yourself down or whatever. And then she's like, okay, where is it in your body now? And then you realize it's either gone or something.
I like
and then you
that.
come back.
I like that. And I'm proud of us. We both had to pee and we were both going to hold it. And we were like, no, let's take care of our needs. We did it. Our needs were met.
As we go forward until the next one, here's your takeaways. Pee if you have to. Don't inconvenience your organs.
That's right.
If you die, don't do it in a boring way. It's fucked up.
Bath water. Give out jars. Collect bath water.
Yeah.
Oh, is this for everyone or just our homework?
I don't know. I think it's.
Collect your bath water.
Collect your bath water and bedazzle your jars, and then put it on the internet and tag us so we can see it. Do not give it to us. I don't want that.
No,
She's like, yeah, I do.
All right. Yeah, this was a good one. I feel like once we started going, we didn't stop.
It's weird. It takes a minute sometimes because it feels like just conversation, but there's more to it than that.
And we're going back and forth with like, how much do we plan ahead of time versus just let it flow naturally? Yeah. So I think it's going to happen that way every time.
Girl, we doing it.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm proud of you. Mwah.
Mwah. What?
I'm covering it from the camera like those people do on what was it? Jersey Shore. When they'd make out with people, they'd cover it. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Okay, later when you're not having to watch over your child, look on Reddit and stuff about that on reality shows. When they like make out with someone, they'll cover, like if this is the person I'm making out with, here's their head.
Yeah.
They like cover their mouths.
Why?
I don't know if I know exactly, but that's what I was just doing because
We're making out and they don't know.
I cover it.
Yeah. I'm still sick. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.